Hi guys, Max Electric here. Today we're just going to be doing a video on this compressor control system that I have here. It's mostly safe, could be a lot safer, but I chose it to be this way. Anyway, first of all, we've got mains power just here. In New Zealand, this is 230 volts alternating current. This is a 10 amp socket, and I'll show you just here, right here. Zoom in right up. Hopefully you can make it out. 240 volt at 10 amp. This is quite an old socket, 70s, made by PDL. Usually we've got switches for the sockets, so you just plug it in. Bit of a hum. The fluorescent tube comes on. From then on you got power going down to here. So under here is where all the goodies and control gear is to control this compressor, which is from the 1960s or earlier. I'm not exactly sure, but I definitely know it's from the 1960s. So from mains power goes and excuse the mess, but what I'm going to do now is actually going to turn this on. So this will all be explained later on in this video into the service position. As you probably hear, the hum has stopped. Maybe you can't hear the hum, but the hum is this transformer up here, and that transformer will be mentioned later in this video. But first, excuse the mess, this is still very temporary. I just need to tidy this up. Before all this, got this terminal block here. This terminal block feeds all the power to all the different things. So you've got your black, which is neutral, green, earth, red, phase. So before anything goes anywhere, the phase wire connects to a wire that goes to this fuse here. Oh, just lost balance here. Just fused here. 10 amps. Do not read it from the fuse block. Actually look at the wire, but I've replaced the wire, so it is a 10 amp rated fuse. Perfect for the wiring. Very well suited, and all good. So I always have stuff that are building just fused. So this is all good. So no need to run to the main board and actually reset anything when you've got a fuse just here. This short circuit current would be quite great here if it's a short circuit or overload. So yeah, judging from a test that I did earlier, so I'm getting a bit off topic here, I get around 400 amps from the socket of short circuit current. So that's quite a lot. So 400 amps through this 10 amp thin little fuse wire will pretty much blow it instantly. So after this fuse wire, the wire goes back to this terminal block. And then connects to the another wire which goes to the switch. So there's 3 wires coming from the switch, as you can see here. 1, 2, and 3. So first wire comes into the switch, which is the common terminal. There's position 1 and position 2, POS. Position 1 is for normal operating conditions, and position 2 is for service. Is for the service position. So pretty much off. Operate, run, service, off. And so the service position is basically meaning as when you're servicing this compressor or maybe the contactor, there is absolutely no power to the compressor at all, as I shall demonstrate here. Start, stop, start, stop. The compressor does not go. The fuse is not blowing as if it was blowing, because if I just disconnect it here, if it's blowing, the light won't be going, or the bulb just may be blowing. But absolutely no power to that compressor, or to that transformer there, or to these wires coming out of this contactor. So that makes it perfectly safe to do some odd repairs, but it's not the safest when you're going up to the terminal block, because that will be live. Only some wires will be live, but you'll have to identify them. So these white wires are just the low voltage wires controlling the the coil on the contactor. So the coil basically, basically pushes that in. See, I'm pushing that in. Absolutely no power's going to this compressor, so there's no voltage or potential on these wires. So the coil basically brings in this switch. It's kind of little, and joins the two contacts together, and that activates the power. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so the transformer's dead, no power there, no power to the contactor, woohoo, all good, that's not going to come on anytime soon. So that's the service position, off, pretty much. So, of course, if you want to service the compressor, but of course, you can always just turn that off there, but if you can't be bothered, service position is much easier. And also, you get a pretty cool light here, so instead of having a torch on this compressor, you can actually just see and service everything. But apart from that, it's pretty good. These wires are all good, so don't worry about that, as I said before. Position 1 switches off the light, but as I'll demonstrate now, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's if you can hear a hum, that is this transformer here, just energizing. So that's not sending power to this coil yet, unless I activate it by pressing the start button on the start-stop switch. And to deactivate everything, you press stop. So, as I'll demonstrate again, position 1, operate, run. I shall press the start switch now, and that activates everything. Everything's live now. Nothing should be poked around under there. There shouldn't necessarily be a safety guard on those, but I'm going to have to weld one to there, but I can't necessarily be bothered doing that, and nobody should really be being under there while that's on. Anyway, cancel everything like I said before. You can brush against this, boom, everything gets cut off. So this is nothing is referenced to mains on here, so you can poke your fingers inside that little switch there and you won't even feel the tingle. So that's why it's low voltage, and I do like contactors that are low voltage. It's much safer, but if you get it wrong, there will be a big bang. So yeah. Okay, more safety features of this thing. This is why I like relays. I'm going to simulate a power cut here. As you heard the thud of the contactor releasing, power's back on, nothing's going to happen. I have to press start to actually get this going, because it will be unsafe, or because there's a socket outlet under there, so pretty much anybody can go and plug things in there, and if there's a power cut, well, what happens if it's not a compressor and it's more like a drill press with a piece of metal lodged in there, and that comes back on, and that's just going to be flying around. So that's kind of dangerous. So that's why power cut, no power back to the compressor, all good. Yeah, so when the fuse blows as well, no power to everything. When you replace the fuse, mains power should always be disconnected, as I wrote here. Only use 10 amp rated fuse wire, which is that in there. If you use more, you'll probably most likely overheat the wiring, and just it's not necessarily necessary to use more, to use a thicker gauge wire, fuse wire for this fuse, because 10 amps is perfectly enough for the inrush current and for the rated current of the motor when it's on its run position or run or operating status. Disconnect mains before removing fuse. That's absolutely vital, because I'll disconnect it here. No hum of the transformer, but you've got live terminal blocks here, live bits here. Not very nice if you touch that while that's on, and I should have actually unplugged that as a physical gap, as Rodelco 2007 says, but this light is hooked up to all this box, and this is all hooked up there. So yeah, all good. Back the power comes on. Right, let's turn on this compressor again. A lot of noise. Neighbours probably hate me because I'm filming this at 11 o'clock at night. When you switch it on to position 2, which is the service position, you switch it back to position 1 as the contact releases. It's not going to get drawn back again because I haven't pressed the start button. So when you push it onto service, the compressor switches off, and all the power is then cut off to everything. So yes, this is how I wired this, so it can be pretty safe. And as I said to you before, please don't just mind my wiring. I will fix that. That's just temporary, so I could just make this video. I will fix that up. And this is not how I do jobs. I don't leave wiring like that in a mess, because that's just not necessarily nice. And it's quite unsafe if you're having wires randomly there when you can just flip around. So yeah, you can leave it on position 2 and switch it off. Nothing will necessarily happen, except that light will just be on, off, on, off, on. All good, nothing's going to happen. But if you put it in position 1, on, off, only the transformer's on. And to activate the compressor, as I said, you press start, but the start button does not work. The compressor doesn't work because I've got that in the off position. So, this is a pretty detailed video. I don't usually do videos this detailed, but I hope everyone can understand how I do things around here and how I wire up things. I could have made this a lot safer by having RCDs and stuff, but that's a little bit foolhardy at the moment because this house does not have any sort of RCD protection, and basically everything is pretty much fused, as in like these fuses are being used. Yeah, I don't know if there's a code for this type of electrical code for this type of work, but it's all disconnectable within reach, so it's also safe enough for people. If you stick your hand under here, which you shouldn't necessarily be doing, you may get a shock, but when it's on a service position, well, da-dee-da-dee-da, yeah, nothing's gonna happen. But yeah, nobody should necessarily be sticking their hands under there, and I should actually put some stickers here saying danger, mains voltage present, so nobody fluffs around. But the only person that comes into this room here is me or some other people that I know that actually know what I've been doing under here. But anyway, if anybody else decides to come into this room, which is a garage, they'll probably know by having little stickers there saying danger, mains voltage present. Do not stick hands under the bench. Well, who really sticks hands under benches when you're trying to work on a bench? That's messy. Yeah. That's it for today, you guys. I will be posting another video on a motor timer and a little system that I'm wiring up in another room. This is not the garage. This is the garage. I'll be doing it in my room, and I'll show you how I did it. I won't be attaching any schematics to this. Maybe in the other video I might just touch base on this video and show the schematic while I'm showing you the schematic of the other thing that I'm doing. But yeah, so you guys will see that in the next video. But until next time, thank you for watching. Yeah, and oh, by the way, thanks for 100 subscribers. That's more so wonderful. It's a bit of a milestone for me, but my YouTube channel is not that big, and so many videos I've posted to get up to 100 subscribers. That's okay, but everyone who is watching this video, thank you very much. That's all I've necessarily got to say. I'm not going to be doing any form of experiment because A, I don't have the equipment, and B, I haven't had enough experience with that type of stuff to actually necessarily safely be doing experiments yet. I used to do experiments, but I kind of got told off about that, so that's not going to be happening anytime soon. But yeah, this channel's not for experiments, it's for these types of videos, and just electrical stuff and other random stuff maybe, but mainly electrical stuff, so yeah. Yeah, so it's about it. Later on I may be posting some electrical experiments, blowing up stuff, but I haven't really got anything to blow up anyway, and I don't necessarily, as I said before, don't have the equipment to blow anything up at the time. So yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.